Ek klim vir 'n treinrit wat my glo my lewe gaan weerspieël. Klomp stasies op my pad. Sommige mooier as ander, maar elk uniek. En dan die moerkoffie, die lewe se vernis, rond, vol, geurig en vol smaak, ryk en lekker. Drink hom slukkie vir slukkie, geniet hom. Laat hy oor die tong rol, want by jou stasie is die rit verby. Die rit weet te flits van die geheue.
Yes my ou vriend, hoe lyk dinge daar by jou? Hey, Vrydagmiddag man. Lieflike dag hier in die baai gewees vandag. Gister het ons natuurlik wind gehad. Ek moet by gister en eergister, Woensdag en Donderdag. Hierdie week was absoluut stormagtig. Dit was regtig the Windy City vir 2 dae. Die windjie nou vandag is weer kalm en op 'n walm. Alles is lekker, van stormagtig gepraat. Jessie man, hierdie was 'n stormagtige week gewees in terme, nie van Julius Malema nie. Ek dink die uitspraak is vandag nog nie gegee nie, of nie die uitspraak nie, die vonnisoplegging. Wat ek meen, waar het jy al gesien met 'n vonnisoplegging? Dit vat ure en ure en ure, die dag van die vonnisoplegging, wat ek meen, kom die judge en sy sê, luister, jy moet soveel geld betaal, of jy moet vir so lank agter tralies gaan sit of wat. So ek praat nie daarvan nie. Ek praat ook nie van die tragiese gebeure hierdie week, waar 'n klomp skoolkinders in 'n mini taxibus letterlik doodgetrap is nie. Dit is skandelik. Wat ek meen, ons sien nou ewe skielik, jy weet, as jy gaan kyk na hierdie videoetjie wat ek hier vir jou insit, ewe skielik was daar vandag oral landwyd, dink ek, of ek weet nie of dit daar bo in die ou Transvaal was nie, was daar oral aksies gewees. Die verkeersdepartemente en so, nog minibusse is afgetrek met 20, 22, 25, 16, maak nie saak nie, totaal oorlaai. Maar nou, die vraag is, vir hoe lang gaan dit so aanhou? Vir hoe lang gaan ons dit doen? Vir hoe lang gaan ons daarop fokus? Gaan ons net daarop fokus, soos ons destyds gefokus het, ja, die rechtssaal sê pad loop, met daai klomp kinders wat dood is van 'n klomp giftige drank in Oos-London. Ek meen, daai besigheid was nie so ordentlik vir 'n week toe nie. Toe gaan dit weer aan, die party gaan voort. Jy weet, show must go on. So, so ek praat nie daarvan nie. En ek wou hierdie week met jou gesels het oor Capitec se verslag, maar ek sal dit hou vir 'n volgende video, waarin hulle bevind het, dat ons werkloosheidssyfer is op sy hoogste 15%. Maar hoekom, net in kort, ons gaan kyk na die formele sektor. Ja, daar het ons definitief 'n groot getal werkloosheid. Maar as jy gaan kyk na die informele sektor, waarvan die taxibedryf, let wel, hierdie taxibedryf wat mense by die dag eintlik vermoor, waar hierdie taxibedryf, hulle betaal ook nie belasting nie, meer as 50 biljoen rand 'n jaar inbring. Hulle vorm deel van daardie informele sektor. Maar terug na my mening, hierdie ene is die grootste, dis die beste episode, as jy dit so kan stel, van hierdie mini-reeks, wat hulle noem die parlementêre komitee. Alles in ondersoek na die beweringe wat generaal Makonasi gemaak het, so 'n tydjie terug, oor die korrupsie in die polisie. En ons het gesien die afgelope week in die nuus, Paul O'Sullivan, ons oom Paul, hy skuil blykbaar in Londen, hy het nou klein koppie getrek, soos my ma altyd gesê het. Hy het nou klein koppie getrek, en hy sê nou, luister, as jy agter die deur staan, moet nie vir my agter die deur soek nie. Maar hierdie week, hierdie meisiekind, sy is absoluut briljant. Ek weet nie waar hulle vir haar kry nie, maar hierdie vrou moet 'n ministeriële pos hê. Hierdie vrou kan jy aanstel, regtig, Cyril, as jy ingeskakel is, kan jy aanstel vir 'n minister van verdediging, tot 'n minister van finansies, tot 'n staatspresident. Ek sien jou swaartjie is deesdae besig om baie hard aan die deur te klop. Hy wil president van die ANC word, hy's 'n multi-biljonair. Hoekom sal iemand so iets wil doen? Hy klop aan die deur, hy het tot al 'n klompie T-shirts gelaat print. kan jy dit oorvertel? So ek wil nie oor dit gesels nie. Maar hierdie meisiekind, Darlene, James, what a woman. Want hierdie week natuurlik, en dit is oor Paul O'Sullivan, dit gaan oor Paul O'Sullivan en 'n man met die naam van McBride. Se verhouding die afgelope paar jaar. Want Paul is 'n onafhanklike ondersoeker, wat hy self sê, so hy kan niemand daarvoor dagvaar nie. Ek sê wat hy homself noem. En dan het ons natuurlik vir McBride. Eens die geliefde seun van die ANC in die struggle, bomplanter, hy het op 'n kol braais omgery met sy ampsmotor, toe hy aan hoof was van die Ekurhuleni polisie. Hy was 'n super spy al, sê hy ook, en ja, hy het allerhande goed gedoen, 'n man van vele talente. En hulle het hom nou gevra om by die parlementêre komitee te kom getuig. En ek moet sê, ek het dit gekyk, want ek was nog altyd gefascineerd in 'n mate deur McBride, dat hy gedoen het wat hy gedoen het, muishandwerk, en hy steeds kan stap met sy bors breed en uit, want hy was 'n apartheidsvegter. En volgens beriggewing is nie wat ek sê nie, wat ek meen, as jy enigiemand doodgemaak het, of sy dood veroorsaak het nie daar van apartheid, was dit eintlik justifiable, want apartheid was so 'n gruwelike stelsel, dat jy kon enige iemand, al was hulle ook nie betrokke by die uitvoer van apartheid nie, as jy hulle sou doodmaak in die proses, dan was dit blykbaar, allegedly, it was seen as justifiable homicide, as jy dan besoek kunt steel. So ek weet nie, maar dinge het goed gegaan vir hom. Dis nou vir meneer McBride. Tot op die punt waar Darlene vir hom begin ondervra het, en spesifiek begin ondervra het oor Paul O'Sullivan, sy handelinge met hom, en ook met Paul O'Sullivan se assistent. Ek het nou eens van haar gehoor, Sarah Jane Trent. En dit is wat gebeur het.
There's nothing you can ascribe solely to his information that he gave.
But just give us off the top of your head, 1, 2, 3 of these
Oh,
investigations.
Patlani.
Excuse me?
Patlani.
Patlani, you consider that successful? Has there been a prosecution?
Yeah, absolutely. He's got 2 cases he must answer for.
Okay.
So it's the information led to a prosecution. We would not have been looking at Patlani if the initial fuse were not lit.
All right. If it wasn't for Paul O'Sullivan and Ms. Trent.
Well, there was a lot of hard work that went into it after that, like at least about 18 months, 2 years work after that,
Okay.
unconnected to O'Sullivan.
What was the nature of Mr. O'Sullivan's engagement with IPID during your time? Was he an informant, a source, a consultant? What exactly was he?
I wouldn't even call him an informant. He was obsessed with corruption, fighting it.
Because he was giving you information, does that not come from an informant?
Well, sometimes it's a little bit more than an informant, because informant, as the Honorable Member mentioned, you have to give them something. Paul, we gave nothing to.
Okay. And Sarah Trent, Jane Trent, also gave nothing to her.
Nothing to.
Okay.
She will volunteer if ever there's a fight against corruption, she will stand there.
So she was also just an informant, a consultant.
Well, more about the archivist and categorizer of public documents, because this was a headache to put together even. But because there were people, various people who were able to store the stuff. I mean, I've burnt my papers long ago, so I didn't have papers. I wanted to walk past this phase of my life, but other people found the documents.
Did you ever Did you
Sorry,
ever
ma'am.
communicate with Ms. Trent about ongoing or active investigations within IPID?
No, not that I can recall.
Okay. Did you ever provide her with information?
Not that I can recall, yeah.
Okay. How frequently were you in contact with her regarding investigations or matters related to IPID or SAPS and Mr. O'Sullivan? Once a month, twice a month,
Maybe once a month, yeah.
maybe once a month. Okay. I want to take you back to mid-2016, specifically June of that year. Can you recall which major investigations or matters you were involved in at that time?
Not specifically, it's 10 years ago.
Okay. Okay. Can you explain why you said you've never given anyone information? Paul O'Sullivan and Sarah Trent. You've never given them information. That is what you said earlier on.
Yeah.
You said you spoke to them once. What was it, once a year? Once a
Maybe
month.
sometimes twice or
You
thrice.
said you spoke to them once a month. You said you've never given information. You said you spoke to them once a month, and you said there was no payment. That's what you said, right? Can you explain why on the 17th of June 2016, you sent a communication to Ms. Trent saying that we are making history?
You mean we are making history? The
Yeah.
collaboration is making history here.
Excuse me?
The collaboration,
The collaboration.
Yeah.
The collaboration on what?
the information provided, the other side of the coin where more deeper investigations are there.
Okay. Because that's in a conversation between yourself and her.
Yeah.
Here on page 17, WhatsApp conversation, where you said to her, we're making history. Can you explain why on the 13th of December 2016, you would be passing information? You just said earlier on, you did not pass any information to her. I have records here that I found where she is requesting information from you, and you are providing her and Mr. Paul O'Sullivan with information on several occasions.
I don't know what is it that you have there.
Okay.
And who gave it to you?
Can you explain? It doesn't matter. Can you explain on 13th December why you'd be passing information to Ms. Trent where you say, get this to Paul right away? That's on page 39.
What was it about? The arrest?
Grote genade, wat gaan nie aan?
SAPS case registered, previous communication there. Before you respond, you send a two text, one at 7:17 and one a minute later. SAPS case registered on 12th of the 12th, Bedford, case number 159-12-2016, suspects McBride, Sibia, O'Sullivan, and Kutsia. Charges for treason, conspiracy for murder, defeating the ends of justice, and you say, get this to Paul right away.
Yeah. So this was in Kabinde.
But you just said you never ever gave them information. You said that they were providing you information.
Oh, okay.
Here you are giving them a case number and you are saying to Sarah, get this to Paul right away.
Yeah, they were not aware that there's a conspiracy against them. It's about arresting people, which was a harebrained scheme of.
So you are even protecting Mr. Paul O'Sullivan and Sarah Jane Trent.
Oh, remember, I'm involved there.
Yeah,
My name is there.
your name is here, but you just earlier on testified that you did not give information to these individuals.
Yeah, but the issue
You
is,
testified earlier on that you only speak to these individuals once a month, and the records reflects that you spoke to them once a day, all day long.
well, in instances where everybody's at threat,
So you lied twice already to this committee.
that's absolutely untrue.
Kyk, dis een ding as McBride sê, absolutely, dan bedoel hy absolutely, soos in absoluut, die hele ding.
No, it is true because I have proof.
Well, you're avoiding the context.
I have proof, but this is not about context. I have the context and I have the proof that you were in conversation with these people almost daily. From 2016, you were reinstated, I think, in 2015, or when were you reinstated? 2016, early 2017, you were in contact with Sarah Jane almost every day. The two of you were going for drinks.
I love it when a plan comes together.
The two of you had a romantic affair. I put it to you. Am I right?
No,
You did not.
No, I
So your messages to Ms. Lee saying, Can I see you even if it just means we start by holding hands? I miss you, my darling. That is not romantic.
Well, if I said
Julle het die kat geknyp.
no,
Maar hy het nou net gesê, hy het gesê, en daar sê Darlene moet eintlik Darlene wees. Darlene sê dan nou daar vir hom, jy het dan nou gesê dit en dit en dit, en jy stem saam, en nou kom jy, ek het die bewyse vir jou gee, en nou kom jy uit, nou sê jy, nee, dis 'n leuen, dit kan nie wees nie.
if I said that, I always
Honorable James and Mr. McBride, can we go slow on it?
can we?
Go slow.
I'm shocked.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, if you bring emotions to it, it's no longer the way we desire it. Can we just go slow?
I have messages between yourself. We were trying to ascertain here, why is it that SAPS has been infiltrated? Why is it that Mr. Kabinde said, furthermore gave an account of Paul O'Sullivan's involvement in IPID matters at the time when I held the position of executive director at IPID. That is the allegation at hand. That is what we're probing. We are trying to understand why is it that these two individuals that has no formal contact with SAPS has so much information and the involvement.
I love it when a plan comes together.
And I'm trying to ascertain to what extent is this relationship? Because based on this information, you rolled out the red carpet to Mr. Paul O'Sullivan. Sarah Jane was the in-between, where she would get information to you and say, don't call first Paul so that it doesn't reflect. And you would say to her, don't worry, I've got it covered, I've deleted the information.
Yeah. So what information was that and where did you get that from?
Doesn't matter where I got this from. You are meant to answer my questions,
so
not
if I don't know
where I've got this information
I can't
from.
answer.
Ek kyk net aan sy van waar hierdie selfvoldane, vol vertroue ou was. Kyk hoe gaan daai selfvertroue, soos kook op die barometer, val dit net soos daar by Sutherland in die winter. Morto!
Because this shows here that you had a romantic affair with Miss, and your pet name for her was Clippity Clop. That was your romantic name for her. And you would meet and share information on SAPS's dockets. You would share with the two of them.
No, I didn't.
I've got it here. I'm going to, for record purposes, I will provide this to all the members. I will share it on the group.
Yeah, that's fine.
Waar kry jy daai inlig? Where do you get that information from? Sy sê vir hom, niks vir jou te doen nie. Dis my informasie, ek sê vir jou. En ek vra vir jou dit. Where do you get that from? Where do you go? Papie, is mos altyd soos hulle sê. Jy weet die waarheid. Op 'n dag kom hy dan buite vir jou in die hol. En dis wat hier gebeur, meneer McBride.
It cannot be fine, sir. You have allowed dodgy individuals to infiltrate SAPS, to run meetings.
Even I haven't infiltrated SAPS.
Wel, daar het jy dit. As jy nie dink dit is van die beste entertainment nie, en baie interessante, as Julius Malema se vonnisoplegging en al daai tipe goed, en Ewan Cyril se dollars in die bank, nie die bank nie, die Rusbank, dan, weet jy nie wat is goeie entertainment nie. En as jy ook die Saterdagoggend na die Moerkoffie Express luister, weet jy ook nie wat is goeie entertainment nie. Ek sien vir jou môreoggend op die trein, dan vat ek Moerkoffie vir hierdie oomblik, drink ek een van die wonderlikste drankies wat die natuur vir jou absoluut gratis gee, alhoewel in Suid-Afrika is nie meer gratis nie, want jy moet jou water koop. Ons water wat in die pype is, in die waterpype wat van die damme afkom, is nie drinkbaar nie. Maar daar's raad vir jou. Jy kan blykbaar soos ons vorige burgemeesteres voorgestel het, of was sy die assistent burgemeesteres? Sy het gesê, gooi dit bietjie jik by die water. Maar anyway, jy hoef nie jik by jou moerkoffie te gooi nie, koop jou water, beste water wat jy in die area kan kry, drink dit saam met jou moerkoffie, drink dit saam met jou brandewyn, al daai tipe goedes. Sien jou môreoggend op die trein. Groetnis.
Radio South Africa, your voice. 24/7.